One of the things that I think surprises my colleagues in Washington, D.C., since the world rises, the sun rises and sets in Washington, is that Houston has 92 consulates. There are only two other cities that have more consulates, and that's New York and LA. I think that speaks volumes to the importance of Houston, not only as a business, but a cultural center. There are over 30 foreign chambers of commerce and foreign trade offices that are in Houston. Most recently, the Malaysia Investment Development Authority opened an office in Houston because of great importance of the oil and gas industry. And we have over 22 foreign banks from 12 countries here. And if I could just give you a little bit of anecdotal information, I think the one thing that amazes me about Houston is that 1/5 of our population of Houston metropolitan area was not born here. It was born in a foreign country. And again, that is one of the real strengths to Houston. This is an amazing city state to do business in. I read a recent poll that was done of CEOs. The state that ranked first in terms of ease of doing business was Texas. The one that ranked last was California. And I recently had the U.S. ambassador to Singapore and Houston for an event, and it was Singapore is kind of like Hong Kong and London to attract people to talk to them about doing business. And the ambassador was a little bit chagrined by the fact that we only had about 20 people. And I said, well, Mr. Ambassador, the challenge for you coming to Houston is it's easy to do business here. It's like doing business in Singapore. Companies don't need a lot of information because Singapore, like Houston, it takes about 2 hours to open a company. So it's a very easy and good place to do business. I'm glad to know that the Greater Houston Partnership will take a trade mission to Turkey in March, and my office will take an oil and gas trade mission to Turkey and Kazakhstan in June. So you can obviously see the importance of Turkey to Houston, and I look forward to engaging more with the business community here and helping Houston companies find export opportunities to Turkey. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, sir.
Well, it's always nice to hear your CV from one of your colleagues. I advise you find somebody who respects you or who's your friend. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very much honored to be with you today. First and foremost, I would like to express my appreciation and thanks to the Texas Turkish American Chamber of Commerce for allowing me to address such a distinguished audience. This is my third tour, as you might have listened to my Honorable Consul General in this country. Therefore, I have visited Houston some 2 decades ago, exactly 2 decades ago. In other words, 20 years ago. 20 years ago, there was, of course, a handful of people as community members, Turkish community members in this wonderful city. But their presence here, of course, was of a kind of symbolic nature. They did certain things, but most of the things they have done had some marginal effect on in different walks of life, in trade, in culture, in community work. But after 20 years, when I now in this city, this time, it really fascinated me. I was truly impressed, by what our fellow countrymen have done in this very, very wonderful city. First, I have seen and witnessed that my people have really brought a lot of diversity, energy, peace, and all the good things into the already existing diverse society. So I should say I'm proud of them. I'm proud of every individual who has made this dream possible. And thank you again, all of you. This requires hard work. This requires the will. And this requires, of course, affection and determination to your objectives. I have listened to the distinguished gentleman from Department of Commerce, and he has, of course, expressed about certain figures. And this is really, of course, that those figures are as impressive as they are. Of course, were very well known to us. I mean, we have gone through those figures over and over and over again. And this country should be, of course, proud of those figures. Why? Because this country, this land, is the school of big thinking. If you are to think big, you do big things. You do impressive things. So the citizens of this country, throughout the ages, really from the days when they had even certain serious challenges, they always took that challenge, and they had dreams. They had the courage to take the risks that they have confronted and turn this country into the global power. But I should tell you, and I'm sure you have done, now Turkey is very similar to what the experience that is represented by the U.S., by the American people. Like the U.S., Turkey is a kind of a melting pot. Historically, Turks are the descendants of a great empire. So we have the great wisdom and great, I think, in every sense of the word, the meaning of tolerance is very much in our souls. We have great respect to diversity. We have great respect to the way of life of every single individual from different orientations and faiths. We Turks, like the United States, now in its region, is an island of stability, peace and stability, in a very volatile region. We have the same determination as you have. We have the same courage. We are ready to take the same risks that you have taken so far. But therefore, we have become allies. Therefore, we have become close friends historically. Why? Because we share the same values that I'm speaking of. We share the same values. We have, in our schools, we teach our people how to go and institute some of those values in their societies: accountability, trust, tax, rule of law, transparency, free market economy, democracy, secular way of life. All these values that we cherish together make us even come or compel us even work more closely to resonate those values, especially in areas which it didn't exist or it doesn't exist. This is why Turkish-American relationship is as impeccable as ever, as important as ever, and it will stay as such forever. This is my sincere conviction. This is what we are trying to do. Within this framework, I should say, I think I should make one point very clear. What makes Turkey different? What makes Turkey different from other allies of the United States? What is different about Turkey? When you look at Turkey, what is different as one of the strongest allies of the United States? Turkey, ladies and gentlemen, a Muslim country, a Muslim majority country. But this Muslim majority country has a democratic, secular parliamentary system and has a free market economy. That makes Turkey very different from other partners and friends of the United States. Turkey is the only Muslim country with such values, the only one out of 57 other Muslim countries, with all due respect to all of them. This is an important thing, and Turkey has a multidimensional, peaceful, and principled foreign policy. That makes Turkey an important country for the United States, and the values we cherish together makes the United States an important country for Turkey. Turkey, ladies and gentlemen, is located in an area which you wouldn't be willing to live in. It shouldn't be taken for granted. I mean, when I say this, I mean it. Look at the place where Turkey is. Whichever way you like to look at it, clockwise or counterclockwise. If you look at the north, you see Russia. You see Caucasus. You see Iran. You see Iraq. You see Afghanistan. You see Iraq. You see Syria. You see the Middle East. You see a boiling environment. It is an understatement, but I cannot be that much undiplomatic. That is a tough neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. With all those problems or those complications, we have also some other issues of common interest, like terrorism, fight against terrorism, energy issues, the Balkans, and so on and so forth. In this environment, Turkey, I'm telling you this with all confidence, not into my own judgment, but to the figures, facts, that Turkey is standing like an island of stability. Turkey, let's look at Turkey. Turkey is, as one of my friends a while ago, my consul general told you, Turkey has a GDP of almost half of what you have as Texas. Turkey, it's a huge number for a country in that size. Really, I think we are faring enormously well. We have a steady growth of our economy in the last 8 years. In the last 27 quarters, the average of growth rate is around 4.4%. This is an amazing figure. In the last 3 quarters, we are over 10% growth rate. In the last quarter, in the very last quarter, we have 13% for increase in growth in our economy. Second after China, ladies and gentlemen, Turkey, second after China, in taking or catching this trend. We have really started making economy as one of the strongest, and with the reforms that we have made, integrating this economy into the global